Yeah, what up, YouTube? Here with a post-fight review video for this past weekend's PBC on Showtime card. Now, it was a stacked card filled with entertaining fights. So, with that being said, nonetheless, let me give y'all my breakdown on all the fights I was featured on this past weekend's Showtime card. Now, the first fight I'm going to cover on this card is the IBF Junior Bantamweight title bout between the then defending champion Jerwin Ancajas, who, by the way, had the second longest reign when it comes to today's champions in boxing. But that reign came to an end as your new IBF Junior Bantamweight champion is the undefeated Fernando Martinez. He won via unanimous decision, a well-deserved win. I personally at the fight scored 118 to 110, so that goes to show you it was pretty much a one-sided fight, and that's how the judges saw it too. But it wasn't like Ancajas was completely out the fight. It's that Martinez was landing the more effective punches and was getting better of the exchanges. Now, both fighters threw over, or not over, but both fighters threw damn near 1,000 punches. That's expected when it comes to lighter weight class guys like such. And yeah, when you look at the CompuBox numbers, if y'all go take a look at the fight, Martinez was outlanding them. The punch connects will show in the stats that Martinez outlanded him by a wide margin. And yeah, that uppercut and that lead hook, especially on the inside, was the key to the win for him. Those were his most solid shots when it came to Martinez's side. Ancajas, he showed great heart, great tenacity, a great effort, but from a technical standpoint, that's not enough to get the W. Now, Ancajas has a immediate rematch clause available to try and regain his IBF Junior Bantamweight title back. Now, I don't know if he's going to do that right away, but that's an option still available for him. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch between the two fighters, regardless of the fact that, this was pretty much one-sided for Martinez. But I'm sure Ancajas would definitely like to get a rematch to try and get his belt back. But yeah, Martinez, congratulations to him. Now that's a new champion in the mix now as far as the junior bantamweights goes. Now that's a weight class that's slept on, that doesn't have the spotlight, but it's pretty much one of the most exciting. I could definitely say is one of the most exciting divisions in the sport. Not only do they produce the most action-filled fights, but as far as the mix as well. You got Estrada, who's the top 10 pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now. That's the lineal junior bantamweight champion. Then you got Franco in the mix. Then you got Chocolatito, who's got a fight coming up. And you now also have Martinez, Ioka out of Japan. Then you got, like I said, Ancajas, he's still in the mix. Donnie Nietes, who's still fighting. Yeah, so it's a very lively division in the sport. It's the only thing that's missing is the attention that it deserves. Anyways, moving on to the next fight that was featured on this card was Gary Antuanne Russell, who I would say took on the toughest opponent of his career, former world champion Viktor Postol, in a 10-round junior welterweight bout. Antuanne Russell, he improved his record to 15-0. All his wins still via stoppage. He won via, I say, was I'm trying to use the right word for it, a bad call. Yeah, that's what I would call it. I say, it was a uncalled for stoppage. I thought Postol could have continued. As far as Antuanne Jr. goes, man, Antuanne Russell, Gary Antuanne Russell, all the Russell brothers got the same first names. Gary Russell, the thing that the name that differentiates them is the middle name. So I'll just say Antuanne Russell, so there's no confusion. He's got power in his hands, that's for sure. He's still on the come up. He's still a prospect. Who's trying to make a name out there, and Viktor Postol, that's the right name. for him to, as far as for him to catapult himself into the top mix of the super lightweights. Like I said, by far this was his toughest challenge of his career. Viktor Postol, even though he's old and out of his prime, but it's still a good name to have on your resume. Now, I still think, Antuanne Russell Jr. I keep saying Junior, but yeah, Antuanne Russell, he a grown ass man. That's why I feel kind of weird saying Junior and shit, but that's besides the point. As far as he goes, I think he's still going, fight guys like a Postol and more fights under his belt before he steps up in competition. But anyways, moving on to the main event, Chris Colbert took on Hector Luis Garcia. Now, this was a last-minute fight that was made because Gutierrez, who's the WBA Super Featherweight champion, tested positive for COVID, hence why he had to back out of that fight. And then the last-minute replacement opponent for Colbert was Garcia. Now, Garcia, who's also undefeated, I think he improved his record also to 15-0 as well after his win over Chris Colbert. Now, it was an upset for sure. Colbert, who's been talked about amongst the boxing fans to be one of the most high potential up and coming fighters, who definitely in a lot of critics' eyes thought that he's a potential next superstar. That kind of got delayed after this fight because it was one-sided. I'll tell you that much. Garcia won via unanimous decision, even dropping Colbert in the 7th round with a counter right hook. And yeah, I had the fight score 118 to 109. And that Colbert only won 2 rounds on my card, and that's how the judges saw it as well. That's how most people saw it. The right man won the fight. Colbert, he's still young. He's got improvements to make. He still got flaws in his games, like anybody else, especially when it comes to young and up and coming fighters like himself. He just got to make some adjustments and hit the gym and go harder. This doesn't derail his, come up. It's only a setback. He was supposed to challenge for a world title against Gutierrez. Now, was he ready to? They all say styles make fights. I don't know too much about Gutierrez, but they say styles make fights. I don't know too much about Garcia either. The first time of me watching Garcia was against Colbert, so I wasn't expecting this. I thought this would be yet another Colbert showcase, but it wasn't. It's definitely upset. There was 2 upsets on this card. First, the Martinez Ancajas fight, then this fight. Garcia outworked him. Was landing the more powerful shots between the two. Was cutting off the ring very well and backing Colbert up with his powerful shots, and had Colbert backed up to the corner and the ropes. Colbert wanted to fight in the middle of the ring, but as soon as Colbert would throw a punch, he'd get countered with flurry of punches from Garcia, and Garcia's power kept on backing Colbert up to the ropes and corner. And the amount of pressure and the work rate and volume punching that Garcia brought to Colbert in this fight earned Garcia that win. And now Garcia is in line to challenge Gutierrez for the WBA Super Featherweight title. Now, you already know, as far as the Super Featherweights go, the 2 most talked about guys is Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson, who's scheduled to have a title unification bout sometime in April. Now, Chris Colbert has been brought up in that mix as well. There was some little internet beef with Colbert and Shakur Stevenson. And you know, that's completely out the way now. That you know, that possible potential fight between two rising superstars with Shakur Stevenson, I say, especially after his performance against Jamel Herring, is at that level now, or at least is very on a fast road to becoming a superstar. He's almost there. Colbert, though, if he would have had that fight against Gutierrez like planned and would have won that WBA title fight, he would have for real been in the mix as the top super featherweights. But that's derailed back because now he's got to work from scratch again because he's not even in line to challenge for a world title at 130 pounds anymore. Now, with that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think as far as all the fights and the fighters that was involved in all the fights on this card and what the future holds for them. Garcia versus Gutierrez. Now, this was my first time watching Garcia fight. I haven't seen too much of Gutierrez. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think the mix is going to be like at the super featherweight division in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Antuanne Russell's future in the comments. What y'all would like to see in the junior bantamweight division as well. Yeah, comment all your thoughts in the comments if y'all want. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Anyway, that does it for this video. Y'all be safe, be healthy, and peace.